in service, not to you, but to live in service to humanity, to live in service to your family, to live in service to your church, to your city, to your country, to the world. Living in service, that is the purest form of joy.
We're supposed to have more joy. Read John 15:11.
These things have I spoken unto you, that my joy might remain in you, and your joy might be full.
Glory to God. I greet you with Jesus' joy.
Welcome to Euflax's Season of Joy. With your host, Chanel Martinez.
Good afternoon and welcome to today's Euflex radio show, Season of Joy. I am your co-host, DG Edwards. So the guest we'll be having today is John Ross, the District Governor for the Junior Optimist International Club, and we will be having some guests from representing who will be going to the Pan American Games.
Our word of the week is alacrity, Alacrity. It's a noun that means brisk and cheerful readiness.
The Bible verse for today is Jeremiah 24, verse 6. For I will set mine eyes upon them for good, and I will bring them again to this land, and I will build them and not pull them down, and I will plant them and not pluck them up.
You can join in on our conversation by calling 1-800-534-8255, toll-free courtesy of Flow, or join us on YouTube Live. So right now we'll be having our first guest joining us on an online platform.
Good afternoon.
Hello, Mr. John Ross.
Indeed, good afternoon. It is a pleasure to be here. Can you hear me properly?
Yes, I can.
Lovely, lovely, lovely.
Can
All
you?
right, good afternoon.
Good
Go
afternoon.
ahead.
Can you please introduce yourself to the audience? For those who don't
All
know
right,
you.
so for those who don't know, my name is full name John Ross Crooks. I am the governor for the Joy, which is Junior Optimist International Caribbean District. And of course, as an optimist, or rather, I personally like to live by the creed, and I know myself as an optimist, right? So a minor introduction would be I am an optimist at heart. And if I was to give a motto for my life, it would be to think only the best, work only for the best, and expect only the best.
Thank you. Can you please explain what is the Junior Optimist International Club?
Lovely. So the Joy Club, Junior Optimist International, is a service organization, right? So we're a voluntary organization, and it stretches across various districts, meaning regions where we operate. Caribbean district. We have, districts in England. We are, right? But what we do as the Joy, what we do as Joy members is that we give of ourselves in regards to helping others. We give of ourselves in regards to helping the youth. And in Joy, we have a motto or saying kids helping kids, because that is what we put ourselves to. As a service club, as a voluntary club, we always want to push forward to help the community. And that is really what the club is about, the organization.
And could you explain to us why did you join the Joy Club?
All right, lovely. Big question. I joined the Joy Club as soon as I entered high school. And to be honest, I loved what the club stood for, right? I loved what the club stood for. I love the motto it portrayed, because I, for one, am someone who loves to live by faith, loves to live by optimism. And just being able to give back to the community, being able to help others, being able to uplift another, it attracted me to the club. And of course, I've been an optimist for 7 years and moving.
Wow, that's a long time.
Yeah, that's a really long time. So, how did you become the district governor? Because you've been there for 7 years, but I'm sure there's others who have been there for a while and they're not the district governor.
Right. In that regard, Shania, let me first say I'm rather humbled to have the position as district governor. And as you mentioned, in those 7 years, I've actually served as a local secretary. I've served as a president for actually an incredible number of years. And recently I've served both as an LTG, which is a lieutenant governor. I work between the zones and the governor of the district. And I was given the opportunity, or rather the blessing, of being elected governor from the past up to this year. And, I would say it was rather in recognition of, or rather they recognizing the talent that I have to lead the district. And frankly, I am humbled that, the organization recognized that. And of course, I do say, and did say when we handed off the baton, is that the district is in capable hands, right? So after years of service, I was granted the position and I do accept it humbly.
When you first joined the club, did you have district governor in mind?
Not at all. Not at all. I can't even laugh about that one. Not at all. Telling you. The furthest thing I went to was the first time I was elected as secretary, and that was actually in grade 9, right? First executive to be elected, and also the earliest president to be elected for the club. But, I definitely wasn't going for a governor. The only thing that was on my mind was being able to give back, right? So, the opportunity comes and we are optimistic.
That's very good.
Now that you are the district governor, does it feel surreal to be able to be in this position, that you are now able to give back way more now that you have the title?
Repeat that question for me, please.
Now that you are the district governor, do you feel surreal about having the role?
Definitely. Rightly, it is more of a thing I could cry about, to be honest, because I am an optimist at heart. And, being given the role, I took on the responsibility of myself to say I was giving back at my own local institution, and now I can give back to an entire district, right? So it still feels a bit like a dream, but, it is happening. And as an optimist, I applaud the title, right? And of course, I do move on because, this year we are going far and beyond every expectation as the Junior Optimist Club. As usual, or rather as always, we always go out far and beyond, right? So being the title, really and truly, I do feel that there is a lot I can offer to this district and especially help us to be united.
Okay. That's really good.
What does your role as district governor entail?
All right, lovely. Glad you asked. So as district governor, you have quite a bit of duties, but I'm under the general supervision of the Joy Board of Directors. But, the governor as myself, my purpose really is to ensure one, functionality over my district, right? Because as you know, there are clubs that are given under the district. We actually have alpha clubs and junior clubs. Alpha would be primary schools, that level of education, junior clubs being secondary. And as the governor, separate from going out there, separate from having the project, separate from, doing the work, really and truly, I have to ensure that my district is flowing properly, that records are up to date, that my members are active in membership, right? So the title really does speak a lot. As governor, I really am just giving governance to the district and also giving guidance, right? So it's quite a lot of stuff. Well, quite a bit of stuff. But given the position, I would also sit on the committee board for the Joy Caribbean District. So, just ensuring club activities, communication, and all of these stuff is regulated throughout the district is really the main focus of, my position.
So which district are you in charge of?
So let me first explain, what we mean by district. Because when I say Caribbean, I'm telling you, it means the entire Caribbean district, right?
Oh.
So right? We've made it to this part. So we have quite a lot of districts. We even have clubs in Nepal. We have other districts. If you're large like the states, one of the states might be a district, right? So being in charge of the Caribbean district, it becomes my responsibility for any member, any club, any organization located within any island identified as Caribbean. So that includes Anguilla, Barbados, Antigua, it includes Cayman Islands, Jamaica, right? And we're even going forward to this year, making new clubs in new countries. So we are definitely moving, right? We are moving.
That's very good, like,
You
to
have
be
a big role to
improving.
play.
Yeah, because the Caribbean is pretty huge.
Yeah.
Does it include all the Caribbean islands or any left off?
It would include all the Caribbean islands. So any of the Caribbean island that has an active club, it would include them. And that is the reason why this year we're going forward to increase our membership in other countries and other islands that don't have a Joy Club. Because truly, every country needs a Joy Club.
I think so as well, because it sounds like it benefits, like, these different countries, and it will help the youth to, like, be more optimistic towards whatever they're doing.
Yeah, for sure. Also, with all of the information that you've given us, would you consider your role to be a hard job?
Let me say no, right? For me, I will say no because, growing 7 years in optimism, I will say I was trained for leadership. And what I will say, right, ladies? What I will say is that the district is not governed solely by the governor, but I have an exceptional team. My governor's assistant, my district secretary, my district treasurer, and the chairperson. So we all work together to ensure that this district functions as best as possible. So it's a difficult role. It just needs that push to go ahead and make the sacrifice.
So since there's a junior optimist club, is there a senior optimist club?
Right, so there is a larger club, however, we don't use senior, right? Because they were there before us, and that is the Optimist International, right? So the original name was Optimist International, and if we go down a bit, memory lane in history, they came from the US and started the first Caribbean District Club here. And that was identified as the Optimist Club. And then, there was a need. I saw the need for Optimist clubs being in schools. And that is how we came about with our junior Optimist International clubs. Right? So not senior clubs. The juniors came after.
Okay. So even though you are in charge of the whole Caribbean, which Caribbean island are you from? Because I hear an accent.
I am from the Aki culture, the Aki country of Jamaica.
I knew it. I knew it because I could hear the accent. So, have you been to a club in Cayman before?
Not physically. But recently, I have actually visited a club in Cayman, virtually. That's John Gray. We had another virtual visit there, and really and truly, I can say Even if it's not my local club, I can say that, even if I was not governor, it's rather heartwarming to see optimists gathering together. That's how I feel. So maybe that kind of helped in being elected for the position, but that's definitely how I feel.
And honestly, it's really great that we are able to connect virtually these days, because just the fact alone that you were able to connect with John Gray without physically being here, and you were still able to be a part of the club here is really amazing.
Right, because that is actually what we are pushing for this year. Mm-hmm. My theme for this year, we actually have a different theme, and that's based on the governor. And my theme this year is reigniting the flame of optimism. And to be unbiased, it is the roaring year of joy, right? We intend for the Caribbean district to be heard. We intend for the Caribbean district to be seen. And even in regards to virtual visits, we are currently in planning of the possibilities, even if it's possible, to visit some of our other neighboring islands to share in with the optimist spirit, right? So we are rather optimistic, of course, that is how we live.
Okay, so now we will have a really quick music break.
We'll be listening to Happy by Pharrell.
Get your running shoes on, ruffle your tail feathers, and prepare to work off that extra helping of turkey dinner while giving back in a big way this Thanksgiving season. Registration is now open for the 6th annual Meals on Wheels 5K Turkey Trot fundraising run walk. Whether you run, jog, walk, waddle, or trot, come get active with us on Saturday, November 20th, starting and ending at Grand Ole House, South Church Street. Registration is open to all ages. Join our sponsors: Davenport Development, McAlpine, Grand Ole House, Western Resort, Progressive Distributors, Cafe Del Sol, and Radio Cayman as they support Meals on Wheels in the fight to end senior hunger in the Cayman Islands. Register today online at www.mealsonwheels.ky or call 769-1974 for more information. See you at the start line.
Life can get busy.
Only those that can see the invisible can do the impossible.
Finding time to build your skills always falls on the back burner, but it does not have to. The University of the West Indies Open Campus, short courses designed with you in mind, diverse and custom built to fit your busy life. From whether you wish to advance your business communication and computer skills and pursue a path in counseling, HR, and business management and care for the elderly, find your place in the Cayman Dream.
Visit the University of the West Indies at open.uwi.edu or call them today at 946-8322.
Summer is gone and the hustle and bustle is back. But hey, don't fall back into the same bad routine. No. Life is getting back to normal, and you should get back to better health. Train with Dre is offering a limited time special for weight loss. The Go Getter Morning Class. 12 sessions per month for only $150. And the I'll Get to It evening and Saturday class for only $175. As a bonus, sign up early. Take $50 off the lunch delivery weight loss program. Top quality food, portioned and freshly made just for you.
Hey guys, Dre here from Train with Dre's Better You Studio. Visit www.trainwd.com or give me a call on 928-3420 to start your weight loss journey today. Better you, better me, better us together.
This is Youth Flex, more than talk.
Good afternoon. I'm back. It's me. We have a guest on, Mr. John. Are you still there?
Still here.
Hi. I'm your host, Chanel. I was out for the first part, but I'm here. It's nice to meet you. And since I am hearing from you for the first time, can you just give me, and for those who may be joining for the first time, can you just reintroduce yourself for me and just state what you, your role as district governor, what you do, and what the Joy Club is all about?
No problem, Chanel. Greetings to you. Greetings to the Youth Flex team. Greetings to everyone online. So, of course, full name John S. Crooks, and I am the governor for the Joy District, Junior Optimist International. And my role as governor is really to ensure that the district flows properly. Communication, records, publishing of district newsletters, general overseas encouragement, communication between all of these islands, right? Because it's not just a single thing. It's not a one man is an island thing. We are all one. And what Joy stands for, Joy is a service club. It's a service organization. It's a voluntary service organization. And what we are here is that we focus mainly on the youth. We focus on the young people. Our motto really is kids helping kids. And what we go for each year is to find means, measures, and some way to give back to the Caribbean community. So not just our local community, but even the Caribbean.
Okay, well, thank you for that. And it's quite interesting to hear about, this is the first time I'm hearing about the Junior Optimist International Club, quite a long name. But it's good what you do there. Service clubs are always good clubs to join. So how were you able to manage being district governor and going to school if you are in school?
Right, so yeah, I am in school. And I can highlight, I've been an optimist for 7 years, so I've considered training. But one of the most important things that I will, say over, I'm not on my own, and I have my team with me, my DS district secretary, my district treasurer, my governor's assistant, my chairperson. And of course, I definitely have to rely on my team because one, if we can't foster properly communications with ourselves, how can we do it with the entire Caribbean, right? So I work with my team. It makes the work a lot easier, trust me. And school relatively has been going great. Currently, I'm an upper sixth student and I have about 90 CXC units to my name, right? So, it has been going well, not too much of a bother, and I am definitely humbled by the position all the same.
Okay, because I would really love to hear which 19 CXCs you did.
Honestly.
Because 19 plus
really
you're
big
the
number.
district governor.
I'm 19. That's
Can
a
you
big
please
number.
list out all 19 subjects that you sat?
And thank you.
All right, so no problem. So I did Unit 1, Unit 2s, and some in CXCs. I did HSB, I did Social Studies, I did Math, English A, English B, IT, I did French, I did Bio, Chemistry, Physics.
I'm at 11.
I got 10 so far.
Remember,
Oh.
right. So then have the Unit 1, Unit 2 animation and game design, Unit 1 bio, Unit 1 chemistry, Unit 1 pure math. How many is that?
15.
I lost count.
A lot.
I lost count.
That's a lot.
Well,
Wow.
how were you able to do all of that? Like 19.
I mean, I would say it's accomplishments accumulated over the years.
Yeah,
Of course.
yeah, 'cause a lot of
definitely
people-
were-
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, right? So
No,
that's the main thing, It's accumulated over the years. I didn't decide to sit CXE one time and do all that.
Okay, and can you just? We would like to know what school you go to for those.
Yeah,
I'm kind of interested.
Me too.
All right, so I go to, I have to say it as my principal says it, just in case he's listening. The best school in the Western Hemisphere. He calls it the best school in the Western Hemisphere, where we truly believe images everything. The Calabar High School, of course.
I had a feeling you were gonna say that.
I feel like everybody goes to Calabar.
I know, right?
I meet more Calabar people than I do JC or KC. But okay, you go to one of Calabar. Nice. Nice.
So, now back to the Optimist Club. What difference have you seen between, like, the clubs in Jamaica or the clubs that you've been to the different clubs around the Caribbean that you've been to?
All right, one major difference that I can say I have seen is in between activity and communication, right? So prior to even being the governor, we've been, putting a lot of things in place. We've been even having international interclubs. And what I can say is I can actually highlight a few. Progressive Youth in Barbados has been one of our very active clubs. And even if we should regard service clubs, John Gray, Caymans, very active club. They actually went across the entire Caribbean, reaching here in Jamaica to help a student who had a prosthetic surgery to be done. Right?
Wow.
And that is what we actually stand for. We stand for service, it's helping kids. And it's not just about, your local club, right? It's about the entire Caribbean district. I've seen persons from Trinidad, I've seen persons from Anguilla, persons from Barbados. And many of these times is because I'm actually a past competitor in 2 scholarships that we do offer. Scholarship competitions, right? The oratorical competition and the essay competition. And mind you, we do care about all our disabled members, right? We actually have an oratorical competition for the blind, and that money goes towards their tertiary education. So, we go to affect every walk of life. And I've seen members from all over the Caribbean come together, and we've enjoyed our time.
Oh, that's good to hear. John, we actually have a caller who would like to speak with you or us.
Go ahead.
Good afternoon to you, all you young folks there.
Good afternoon.
Wonderful job you're all doing. And good afternoon to that young man there. I just like to have him know many Caymanians went to Calabar, quite a few. There are several of us still around from the old days. When I left there was almost 60 years ago. I remember very well. It was on Red Hills Road by then, and he should know. I think it's still there. And I'm very pleased with what you're doing here and what you've said and the accomplishments. And it's very important to be helpful and put your knowledge, and also to use your ability to speak and to present your thoughts eloquently and distinctly. And, that's very important, and we need to try to incorporate that into all our young people, to be able to convey your thoughts in purposefully and in that people can understand us and try to not to be afraid, be courageous in talking and it's quite I'm very thankful to hear what you're saying, and you young people, I listen to you whenever I can, every Wednesday and so forth, and it's very uplifting to listen to you all, just trying to uplift young people and try to portray the positive parts about youth. Thank you very much, and continue, young man, and I'm very proud of you. I won't have to say the cheers. You should know them all, the old Calabar cheers. There are several of us here. Some are much younger than I am. I think it's only maybe one person who was of my generation going there now, and there are a couple of others, quite a few others. They know themselves to Calabar High School. Have a wonderful afternoon. Now listen on.
Thank you, caller, for calling in.
Definitely same to you. I'm glad to know that the green blood, flows internationally.
So we have one final question for you before we wrap up.
In your 7 years of being a part of the Optimist Club, have you been able to be a part of a club meeting in person or in another country?
All right, so in my 7 years, I have been able to be a part of club meetings, right? Virtually, we've been able to meet with some of our schools. And, that's a rather important question, and let me give you an answer. Is that even though we are kind of in a season now that's digital, right now with my team and even with our board, we're actually setting plans in place to make face-to-face visits with some of our club members over the Caribbean. Because, what we are about this year is unity. We are fostering communication of the entire Caribbean to know that the district is not separated. We are still here. So I have been able to visit some virtually, and this year, amidst the chaos, we stand as optimists, and we will definitely be visiting some face-to-face.
Okay. So we have another caller.
Hello, caller.
Yes.
Hello.
Hi.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Ross. I am just checking what opportunities are there for us to start a new Joy Club or new Joy Clubs in the Cayman Islands. I am actually liking what I'm hearing that the Joy Clubbers are doing at John Gray. And I just wondered how it is that we can go about starting Joy Clubs in the other schools here.
All right, lovely. I'm pretty glad a caller came and answered that question because we wanted to before leaving. And, right now, let me tell you something. I'm an IT person, right? So I love the website. I love all the information that is there. We have our website at www.optimist.org. And right now, there is literally a section that is separated on the entire website to introduce and to instruct members on how to start new clubs where there are. And of course, you can get in contact with me, whenever you fill out those forms, whenever you make it known, I'll get in contact with you and we will work with you to make a new club. Because this year, we are going for it. So I love the initiative. Go ahead, get onto the website, and I will get right back with you because, even in this term, as much as we have for the rest of this year, we are going forward to reaching the rest of the Caribbean, and we'll definitely be getting clubs all over. Lovely question.
All right. Thank you. Thanks for the work you're doing in these islands, and wish you all the best for this Optimist year.
No problem. Thank you very much.
Thank you, caller.
Right. You're welcome. Thank you.
So, Mr. Ross?
Yeah, man. Still here.
We are in our season of joy. What brings you joy? And don't say something besides the Joy Club.
That's a rather interesting thing, And that's even harder to do, to be honest. That is harder to do because I've lived my entire life as an optimist. What I tell persons a lot of times that I love going to school, and of course that doesn't always fit the bill. But what brings me joy would be being able to help others. outside of the club, even at home, even in my own community, I'm telling you, I'm actually pretty active. And what brings me joy is to be able to acknowledge that my work has been able to, help someone else, right? So when I can look back, down memory lane, look back in history and say, I helped to get this accomplished and this person has now moved on or moved forward, it brings me joy to know that, yes, I am definitely being valuable to my society, right?
That's a lot of things that bring joy.
Sounds like a really happy person.
Very happy. So, just want to thank you for coming on today. And before you go, do you have any shout-outs you would like to make and your friends, family who may be listening?
Or the Joy Club.
Yeah, or the Joy Club.
Listen, family, let me give a shout-out to my sister, that's Kelly and Chris, that's from Immaculate, even my mother, that's Pauline Chris, who works at Immaculate as well. And I have to give a shout-out to John, Cayman, John Gray in Cayman. I have to give a shout-out to them, give a shout out to my brother. He's a past student from Calabar, the Green Blood Blues, Jean-Pierre. And what I must do, I have to give a shout out to you yourself, Miss, the co-host Chanel, DJ, or co-host DJ or host Chanel. Let me give a shout out to both of you. Because, you're all saying I'm doing this and I'm doing that. But let me tell you, you are doing an initiative that is definitely helping others. So let me give a shout out to probably even Justin Mays. And one last thing, a shout out to Justin Allen and a shout out to Bobby Francis. Optimist Bobby Francis, he was our previous, he's our IPG, our immediate past governor. That man led the Caribbean through quite a time, right? So, that is it for me. And let me leave one last word, if you will.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Let me last word, and it's that for this optimist year, my goal as governor is to connect our clubs. We are going term by term, we are going quarter by quarter, uniting the clubs. We will be going into our clubs, we'll be going across seas, and we will be working voluntarily to give back to the community. So for any of the Caribbeans that are out there, if you want a club member, just get onto the website www.optimist.org. That you really do want a club, and let me tell you something, we will get you sorted, right? So we live by optimism. I live by the creed to think only of the best, work only for the best, and to expect only the best. If you want to know the creed, it was written by Christian D. Larson, and that is it from me.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for coming on the show, and I wish you all the best.
Can you leave us with the Calabar chant?
Jesus is Lord.
Oh my! It was a pleasure being here, ladies. I don't want this is because my team is quite mixed. Let me just keep at heart, and I'm pretty sure that every Calabar member who is present right now will know what I mean by image is everything. I'll at the very least say that.
Okay, well, thank you for joining us today, and I wish you all the best on your future endeavors.
Next up for a music break is At My Worst by Pink Sweats.
Superior Auto now have the ability to balance and align big trucks. Heavy duty and medium duty wheel alignment and balancing done at Superior Auto. Call 949-9570 or 525-9571. Superior Auto. They keep your car in tune.
2020 vision. If only we had that in 2020. Life can come at us fast. 2020 vision only comes after. This 2021, don't be caught off guard. Stay insured, stay protected. I'm Michael Webster from Cayman Insurance Center. If you're looking for a sure way to protect your family, call me at 925-5433. Don't take chances with your family's future or your valuable assets. Call me today, Michael Webster, at 925-5433.
All the world's greatest inventions were initially misunderstood.
What?
Except for KFC's Pizza, a pizza made with all chicken and no crust, tomato sauce and pepperoni, topped off with delicious melted cheese. An invention that is understood from the very first bites. Pizza from KFC. No need to explain. You just need to taste it.
Try Pizza at KFC Shedden Road and KFC Baytown today.
As the community continues to take precautions from COVID-19, it is important to stay prepared for other disasters now that we're in the hurricane season. Here are some post-hurricane safety tips from the Department of Environmental Health. Did you know that you must discard fresh fruits and vegetables, meats, foods in canisters, dented, leaking, or rusting cans after they have come in contact with floodwater? For full guidance on post-hurricane safety tips, visit www.deh.gov.ky.
A national sport, an international phenomenon, a way of life.
In any land in the world, and he would never strike a ball more pure.
Football binds a community and can build a nation.
Clips it in. Well done!
Better, faster, stronger, and united. From the pitch to the stands, to the field and the sands, we are united. We are Cayman Football.
Locally made box frozen ready meals are the perfect solution to your quick meal needs. With a wide selection of delicious lunch and dinner options and 5 delectable desserts. Spend more time with your family and less in the kitchen. From our mouth-watering lasagna to traditional box Cayman style beef and the ultra yummy box sticky toffee pudding. Carefully crafted, responsibly sourced ingredients, and environmentally friendly packaging. Box. From our kitchen to yours. Available throughout Grand Cayman.
When you're on the go, let the Island Supermarket shop for you.
To start, head to fosters.ky/go.
Then shop all of your favorite products online, from produce and seafood to grocery and frozen, all picked by our team of shoppers ready to go.
Choose next day curbside pickup from Foster's Camana Bay or delivery island-wide.
To get your order started, visit fosters.ky/go.
This is Groceries on the Go.
And we are Foster's Go. Shop online anytime.
This is YouthFlex, more than talk.
Welcome back, everyone. And now we are joined by some members of the Cayman Islands Pan American team. Can you just please introduce yourselves and what school you guys go to, if you're in school?
I'm Karthik Adapa. I go to St. Ignatius, and I train gymnastics.
Cool.
I'm Abby Carnahan. I do synchronized swimming, and I go to Cayman International School.
I'm Alex Owen, and I go to Cayman Prep, and I do synchronized swimming.
Oh, and I'm Romina Geraldo. I'm the coach for Abby and Alex in synchronized swimming.
Okay, cool.
So how did you guys choose the sport? Or how did you get into the sport that you're representing the Cayman Islands for?
Well, I used to dance and swim, so when synchro came to the island, it's kind of the combination of the two. So I tried it out, and I quit both of the other things and started doing synchro, and I've been doing it for 6 years now. So yeah, and
you get the best of both worlds. Huh?
Yeah.
Oh, so one of my friends did it, and then they said she said it was like really good. So then I did it, and I liked it. So I kept doing it.
For me, I feel like it might be the same story for like most gymnasts, how it's like a small child who just can't really sit still, and so I just put them and they can get coached and spend their time more wisely into something. And so yeah, I was just uncontrolled as a child, and now I'm doing gymnastics.
So how did you guys get to be a part of the Pan American Games, or how did you get selected? Like, is there like a recruitment, or do you have to go through a process?
Yeah, so obviously with COVID and everything, it's kind of been a more interesting year. Like, we haven't been able to go away and compete as the national team and kind of qualify. So we did do virtual competitions where we sent away our routines and they were judged. And I think that kind of had a factor. And then we were invited to participate in this. We didn't know actually until September that we were actually invited to this. So it was it's been a rush. But yeah.
And for you, you're doing a different sport than they are.
Well, kind of just set up a meet to get a qualifying score. So it's like you go to a meet and you get your score, and then if you're good enough, then you'll be able to go and qualify for Pan Ams. That's basically what I did. So I went to a meet in Mexico and did well enough to be able to go to the Pan Ams.
And that was this year?
This year, both this year.
Okay, so you got to travel, but they didn't.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's fine. And where are the Pan Am Games going to be this year? Is this your first time going?
Yeah.
It is?
Yeah, first time for me too.
And where is it going to be held?
It's in Colombia, in Cali. So it's the first time that these Pan American Games are going to be held. Like, this is like the first edition of the Junior Pan American Games.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, yep, in Cali, it's going to be very nice.
Okay. Are you guys excited to go?
Yeah, for
traveling?
sure.
Definitely.
Yeah,
and you said that your trial for your synchronized swimming, it was done virtually. Do you think if it was done in person, it would have been more nerve-wracking, or?
Yeah, I think so, because obviously when you're in person, the judges are right there watching you. There's people watching you, cheering you on. And when you're doing it virtually, you're just being filmed in a video, so it's a little bit less anxious and stuff like that. But yeah, it is still nerve-wracking, just a little less so.
Have you guys been to any other games, like, besides the Pan Ams?
Yes, we've been to Carifta, which is within the Caribbean region. I went to UANA, which I'm not exactly sure what the acronym stands for, but that was in Canada. I went in 2019. So those were kind of the two, like, bigger meets that I've gone to before this. Yeah.
And for you?
Oh, no.
This is your first?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it exciting?
Yeah.
Is this your first meet as well, Karthik?
No. I've gone to other international meets. My first one was Island Games in 2019, which was in Isle of Man, and after that was Guatemala, and those two were, and that was in 2020, I think, and then I had Mexico, and now Colombia soon, and so, those are the international meets I went to, and obviously like meets in the U.S. from when I was little, we would go and just do small meets there as well.
Okay. And I know off air before we came on, you mentioned that you had a partner who's actually here. He's in the studio, the other studio. Are you guys doing like a duo routine or something?
No. But so in men's artistic gymnastics, it's just single. I think it's rhythmic or some other title where it's not where you're having a dual routine, right? Where you're together and you're performing. But we're doing artistic gymnastics, and that's not that. What's funny is that It was originally just supposed to be me going to the Pan Ams, but the people organizing the event, which is PAGU, they decided they really liked Cayman for some reason. They loved that we were a small island traveling to like huge meets, and they're like, you know, instead of just sending one person, we're gonna send 2 people to represent Cayman Islands.
Nice.
And so now we're both going to go to Colombia, which is super great. I didn't want to compete alone. It's, I've only competed alone a few times, and it's just totally not the same. He's with me in gym all the time, right? So it's like, why?
So you guys like best friends or something?
Oh, for life, dude. Best friends forever.
For lifer.
Yeah.
Are there any differences between the games that you've done already? Like, for example, you said you did one in Guatemala and then the one before. Are there any differences, or is it like the same?
All meets are really the same. You have your apparatus, you do your skills, perform your routine that you've been practicing, and then 3 judges to like 6 judges are there. You get off and they give you your score. It's not much different. I mean, it's a lot different now since because of COVID and all that, with masks and stuff.
Do you have a PB?
Not off the top of my head.
Okay. Do any of you guys have a PB?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's a bit different in synchro and I guess gymnastics as well because it's more like artistic. I couldn't say my personal best off the top of my head either, but like there is a certain like score range that we're aiming for in this meet.
And this is a question for the coach. How do they do the ranking for synchronized swimming?
Okay, so we have a score that goes from 0 to 10, and then judges has to score like different type of scores, like execution, artistic impression, elements if it's a technical routine, or difficulty, and it's like different things that they have to judge in one routine. So there are like 15 judges, 5 on each panel, and that's how they get the score at the end. So we, as Abby said, like we are working to be like to get a certain like amount of points, like working towards that, right? Like I mean, taking like knowing that Cayman like synchro. Actually, I want to just like say something about it. Like synchronous swimming, we love that name, but it's not anymore called like that. It's artistic swimming now. Like that's the proper term. Okay. Yeah, but we love calling it synchro. Like all the synchronous swimmers all over the world, I think we still call it synchro. So it's the first time that Cayman Islands, like Cayman Synchro is gonna compete in a competition like this, like a game, because games, it's a different competition that like any other like competition, like strictly from the sport, right? Like I mean, this is a massive like a competition. All the sports, like so many people around, like it's totally different. So it's like a huge step up, and yeah, these girls are doing amazing, and I think we're gonna be like very good represented by them.
I think
so too.
So just a quick question. With artistic swimming and gymnastics, my perception of what I've seen on like the Olympics and stuff, you have to have like a lot of upper body strength, I believe. And so like what kind of workouts, training do you do to prepare for an event like this?
A lot of upper body. I don't really know how else to word it, right? Well, I guess with gymnastics, you're doing a lot of calisthenics, so it's only body weight. We'll use like, if we're ever using weights to train, it's only gonna ever be like 8-pounders. It's not gonna be anything substantial. And totally upper body. But then again, it's like you can't just ignore legs, right?
Yeah.
And because it's actually pretty important because you have floor and vault, and if you don't have strong legs, you're just gonna buckle and fall. And so, yes.
And what about you guys for artistic swimming?
Yeah, upper body strength is definitely like so important because we do leg stuff where our legs are in the air and our arms are holding us up. So for that, I mean, it's basically just practice. Like underwater, it's called sculling, so we scull. We do swimming workouts. And then obviously we focus on legs and core because that's also kind of equal importance. You kind of need all 3 to do well.
They do also like mirror training. Like we stand in front of a mirror and we go through all the routine. Like it's called land drill. In front of a mirror, so they can put like angles on the same position and everything. They do conditioning. They do bands workout. They do flexibility. It's a lot. Like synchro is a very like huge sport and complete. So it's like we need to be prepared like in every part of our bodies, and it's a lot of different trainings like during the day.
So when will the Pan Am Games be?
It starts like the 25th, if I'm not wrong. We're flying like on the 29th.
Okay.
So because our competition is like the second week.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're actually out of time. It's like 4:55, but I just want to wish you all the best on the Pan Am Games, and I encourage you to keep working hard. You know, maybe one day you guys will be representing the Cayman Islands with artistic swimming. That's going to be pretty cool. And I wish you all the best as well with gymnastics and your partner as well, and you as the coach.
Thank you.
So, thank you all for joining us today on YouthFlex. I'm your host, Chanel, with my co-host, Deidre. Shout out to our guest, Mr. John Ross, and our representatives here from the Pan Am team for Cayman.
Shout out to Radio Cayman for their work on sound and boards, Mr. Will Sinatra, DJ Lynn, and DJ Silver Fox. Shout out to Conrad for the live YouTube feed. Also, special shout out to our YouthFlex crew, Jared Miles on YouthFlex Social, our musical director Jesse Watler, Soraya Ramjeet on YouthFlex News Desk, Mikhail McLaughlin, our promo director, and the 100+ Flex family all over the globe.
Thanks to SIFA, Cayman Insurance Center, UB Open Campus, Train with Dre, and Superior Auto for sponsoring the Super Jam, and to you, our listeners, for tuning in every Wednesday from 4 to 5 for YouthFlex on 89.9 FM. Please join us again next Wednesday for YouthFlex's final show for the season of joy. Until next week, this is your host, Chanel Martinez, saying, smile now, laugh later.